today is World Hunger Day. We're live at Feeding Northeast Florida off Old Kings Road. This beautiful warehouse just opened up less than 2 years ago and is doing such great work every single day. Volunteers who are at work right now putting together non-perishables that will go out into the community, whether it's the mobile food banks or to some of the other partners that Feeding Northeast Florida has. And one of the many people who encompass this effort is the board. And if you've ever served on a board for any nonprofit, you know that you're focused on a lot of the strategic work, the vision and the spending of the resources, the deployments and those kinds of things. And it takes the board to be able to ensure that those big picture things are getting done then at the level here in the warehouse at Feeding Northeast Florida. Josh Martino is one of them. And we were just talking about it off the air that you've been involved in food insecurity for a very long time. You've been a board member here for how many years?
I've been a board member here for 9 years.
And prior to that even?
Yes, I was a board member of Second Harvest for a few years as well on their junior board when I first moved to Jacksonville.
What was it that got you connected with food insecurity overall and keeps you dedicated to the mission?
I think we all have a why story. And for me, my grandparents, when they came over from Poland and from Italy, they knew what it was to be hungry. They knew what it was to be actually to know what starvation was, and how that affected my mother, how my father grew up, what food meant to us in our home. Rarely went out to dinner. We cooked every single night. The dinner table was kind of a sacred grounds for us. My dad fought hard to be at home every night for dinner. And no matter what happened that day, no matter what stresses or joys we had, we can share it at the dinner table. So I did my homework in the kitchen. I had olive oil and garlic stains and tomato sauce all over my textbooks. They smelled like a wonderful restaurant every time I went to school, which is good and bad. But food insecurity to me has always been a part of my heart, and the opportunity to serve and give back was granted to me by virtue of being elected to the board for Feeding Northeast Florida. And for the last 9 years, it's been one of the great honors of my life, and wouldn't trade for anything.
Do you often reflect on those times when you're at board meetings? They can be a little stuffy at times, and you're talking about budgets and stuff like that. Do you go back with nostalgia and look back, and does that help to illuminate what you're doing here?
I think that type of sentiment on any board for any mission, regardless whether it's for food insecurity, whether it's for veterans or animals or whatever it is, cancer, hospitals, healthcare. Like I said, there's always a why story, and it's always important to remember why you're there, why you're sitting there giving back. I think as long as you remember your roots and remember what the essence of the mission is, food insecurity, I think that's going to make you a more valuable board member and a more valuable member of the community.
You've gone from the smells of Italian and Polish food to barbecue now.
That's right.
So it's in your blood and in your veins.
Yes.
As the president of Bono's, but you're also involved in the Harvest Helpings, which is a huge initiative that's it's underway now.
Absolutely. It's underway now. We're getting the community involved. The team here has done a wonderful job with launch. And, these types of initiatives really get the community to understand what we do here. We've rephrased what hunger is in our community. People think it is a homeless issue if they don't know any better. And that was an education for me as well. It is not just a homeless issue. In fact, it affects people who work very hard every single day. I think we're rephrasing the conversation that food is healthcare, food is education, food is security. Food is so many different things that food is essential and can solve so many ills. Food helps with crime prevention, believe it or not. I mean, it really does solve all of the ills. And the food bank here, Feeding Northeast Florida, we consider it to be the faucet, right? There are so many wonderful buckets throughout town, whether it's Sulzbacher, Beam, countless others that receive food from Feeding Northeast Florida. And then they put that food to great work in their own parts of the different community, serving all of these people. But Feeding Northeast Florida is the faucet that fills those buckets. This is essentially a logistics warehouse. Food comes in, food goes out. And they ensure that it meets, all the needs of our community as best as possible. The more we bring in, the more we put out.
As you've had a chance to see the impact, and as a board member for 9 years, how has that changed maybe your behaviors at your restaurants in terms of what you pitch, what you keep? How do you train staff and ensure that we're not wasting as much as we can? I mean, we're a wasteful society.
We are, and the fact of the matter is in this country, we waste more food than we use. So the problem is not a food problem, it's a sourcing problem. It's how do we get food into those people's hands that are deserving, that need it, But you're right. In our own business at Bono's, we have a zero waste policy. If we have chicken that didn't get sold and it's just chicken stuff on a pit, right? It's live fire. We tear that chicken and pull that chicken and put it in the Brunswick stew. We put it in other food, make it even more delicious.